Welcome, everybody, to the 2020 Start Network Annual Assembly. A year ago, during my first week at Start Network as Chief Executive, who could have predicted that the world would have changed so much, so quickly, and so completely? COVID-19 has tested the limitations of our health systems, but has demonstrated that locally led and locally rooted responses have been fast, trusted, and effective means of combating the disease. The climate crisis is testing our resilience as societies, as well as the courage of our leaders to make those deep changes in global policies and behaviors. A global economic crisis is crippling humanitarian action's staunchest supporters. And the Black Lives Matter movement has exposed very uncomfortable truths about how we operate as a sector and prompted critical reflections on how we behave. But what I love about Start Network is that our instinct is not to shy away from crises, from change, from uncertainty, but to use it as an opportunity to adapt, to pivot, to make the changes that we need to make, and to lean in. And leaning into uncertainty, accelerating change, is what these next 4 days are going to be about. The Start Network Annual Assembly is something I've been looking forward to all year, and I know my colleagues in the Start team and in our hubs have been too. I hope that's true for many of you. It gives us an opportunity to come together as a membership, to lift our heads above our daily work, to discuss and work through the strategic and operational and also systemic issues that we face, not only as a network, but also as a sector. And importantly this year, this assembly will allow us to experiment with virtual conferencing, which, pandemics aside, will become more important for us as the network grows.
Yeah, thank you, Christina. A year ago, I was excited about joining START as the Chief Finance and Operations Officer. And I was excited because of its bold, innovative aims, and it really hasn't disappointed me. 2020 has been a really interesting and positive year for START, and it's been incredibly busy. The shift to full home working has brought about new opportunities and challenges for START and for its staff team. But we have embraced it, and we are proud to have managed to have pivoted successfully, and we've grown the business despite COVID's best efforts to derail us. We as an organisation have established our finance and operation functions, and we are now actively supporting the business in its ambitious aims to progress the localisation agenda and our other strategic areas of work. And we will continue to challenge ourselves to ensure we are heading in the right direction, and we are working on a strategy refresh plan that will help to inform our future works. So, before we embark on this new way of conferencing, we wanted to start with our year in review. What has happened for Start Network in 2020, and importantly, what did you ask us to do, and how have we responded to that?
So, what have we done? Well, first, we've further grown and diversified our membership. On Thursday, during our annual general meeting, we hope to approve 5 new members of START, from BRAC in Bangladesh, to People in Need in the Czech Republic, to ASEXA in Guatemala, Piango in Fiji, and MEDAIR in Switzerland. Based on our conversations last year around how we define local, national, and international organizations, we've developed and piloted diversity criteria, which will allow us to understand organizational power and capacity in more nuanced ways. We will be rolling this out over the next year. But the evolution of our membership is not only about growth in numbers, it's also about the value you derive from being members of our network, and we're working on that too. According to our last membership survey, 93% of you were satisfied with your membership of Start Network, but there is always room for improvement in our engagement with you, in our funds, in our innovation work. I hope you've all registered for our Members Innovation Challenge, in training, in advocacy, in learning, on issues of systems change. We'll talk to you more about this in our session on the membership survey on Tuesday, led by Mo Limo, our membership engagement advisor, whose job it is to help you bring tangible value to your membership. We continue to act as a fast and agile channel for funding the NGOs in the world's most pressing crises. Based on your steer, we launched Start Fund COVID-19 to provide fast funding to frontline organizations in what was a very fast-moving emergency. We also provided COVID funding through our Migration Early Response Fund. We launched the COVID-19 fund in just 2 weeks, providing more than £5 million to 43 projects in 25 countries, including close to £500,000 in direct funding to local organizations through the COVID-19 Fund and through Start Fund Bangladesh. We also were able to sign on 2 new private donors to the COVID-19 Fund and hope to work with them more. So please join Lucille, Lucy, Sajid, Melina, and our entire Start Fund's team to discuss the learnings from Start Fund COVID-19 and what the future niche of that fund might look like. We also progressed our vision of a network of networks by launching 5 hubs in India, Pakistan, DRC, the Pacific, and Guatemala. We've been working with them throughout the year to get them the funds they need to grow their local networks, to set up disaster risk financing and innovation programs, and to engage their leadership in key conversations about the future governance of the network, our partnership models, and accelerating our localization aims. There will be several opportunities during the next few days for you to meet the hubs. So please join Laura and Bhavya in engaging Ahmad, Sudhanshu, Siale, Hugo, Eve, and Gang from our hubs in these conversations about the future of the network. We also modeled, predicted, and acted in anticipation of crises and in concert with many of you. In Senegal, using the $10 million drought insurance payout we received in January, we launched a series of activities, mainly cash assistance due to COVID-19 restrictions, to shore up household resilience to the impact of drought before the lean season in Senegal struck. We're now analyzing key learnings from this payout in the next couple of months, and we'll share them with you once we have them. In May, a heat wave in Pakistan triggered the release of £36,000 to 2 of our members who were pre-selected to roll out preventative responses in places like Karachi. Their work on the ground has included awareness raising around heat waves and the identification and treatment of heat wave effects. In 2021, we hope to bring this all together under the START financing facility and expect to have a minimum viable product of the SFF at the end of this year and to pilot it in 2021. So please join Emily and the Crisis Anticipation and Risk Financing team on Thursday to help them figure out how key components of the SFF, such as risk pooling, will in fact work. This year, we also boosted our advocacy capacity in London and our communications capacity in critical countries through regional communications advisors. And based on what we heard from you last year, we've been loud on the importance of local humanitarian action and loud on early and anticipatory action. And in response to the merger of DFID and the Foreign Office here in the UK, we launched an advocacy campaign to steer the new UK Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office. And thanks to all of you who supported that campaign. Please join Miriam and Sarah from our advocacy team on Thursday for a chance to weigh in on our 2021 advocacy strategy.
So what else have we done? So in order to progress our ambitions to be a network of network and work towards shifting the power of our organisation, we established a group to design and consider the future governance state of START Network. Please join Antigone and I in our Learn and Build sessions on shifting the power, where you'll be able to learn more about what is being proposed and the transitional steps that will take us there. We've also progressed our due diligence work with our tiered framework being tested. We've received support and funding from 3 donors to fund organisations that would not typically meet due diligence levels of compliance. 12 new members were put through the framework, with more in progress as I speak, and monies have been passed to 8 local and national NGOs who would not have been able to access funding under their old system. We've also been able to passport our due diligence to DEC to allow our mutual members the time and resource benefits of only needing to do the exercise once, plus, of course, the associated cost savings. We're also working with our hubs to support them in becoming stronger organisations, and not only from a compliance standpoint, but also across other areas of their businesses and their work. So if you'd like to know more about that, please join Michelle and Vincent in their Learn and Build sessions to hear more about the type of work that we're doing to progress these areas. Also this year, we completed our first successful audit as an independent charity and filed our first set of accounts. Our first annual report was published in 4 languages and is available to view on our website. More about our achievements in 2019 will be shared with you at the AGM on Wednesday. And finally, we continue to work on our safeguarding practices, both from within our organisation and also in our programmes. And we will continue to look for improvements that we can share within our membership and with our partners.
So, without further delay, let's get on with the rest of the program. Here's a little bit of what you should expect during the next 4 days. For one, you should expect to learn through information, updates, and Q&A sessions about all of our programs and major initiatives. And Suzanne and I are hosting our own leadership session about our localization ambitions on Monday morning at 10:30 British Summer Time. You'll expect to build and co-create with us new ideas and new initiatives within our current strategy, such as a local microfinance scheme for our hubs and a decolonized Start Network program. You should expect to explore important and uncomfortable topics, such as racism in the aid sector and why it's so difficult to walk the talk on localization. On Wednesday, we're going to decide to admit new members at our annual general meeting. And finally, we're going to celebrate Start Network's 10-year anniversary by showcasing our changemakers, who have been selected because they emblemize what we stand for as a network and what we stand for as agents of change. We really hope you enjoy these next few days and look forward to seeing you throughout the sessions and hearing your views throughout the week. So let's get to the next session. Shall we get this started?
Yeah, let's do this.